white flag. 1 lap to go for Tom Sneva, and he'll win his first Indianapolis 500. Oh boy, what a moment this always is, and for him especially sweet.
Sneva just continues to pile it on, continues to drive it very close to those walls. I mean, we are seeing a confident driver in full command of his faculties here, Jim.
Certainly not slowing down. Well, after 3 second place finishes here, he doesn't want any of that talk about ultra-conservative driving. He's driven aggressively with tremendous talent and with beautiful technique all afternoon.
And how sweet it is for him that the 2 cars in his wake right now belong to Roger Penske.
Look at this, the crowd waving to him, and you can hear their cheers above the roar of the engines because the checkered flag is out, and Tom Sneva, at long last, has won the Indianapolis 500. Al Unser, second. Wow, what a fascinating final 20 laps that was.
Wave of the arm, that is fantastic, and he did it with very little testing. Jim, he just put it together today. Really, it's the first time he has looked really good this whole year.
There he is. He has to bring it home now and tool it into victory lane where they'll all be waiting for him, but they better get down there. They got a long way to run.
Yeah, especially for someone of Mr.
Look at Sharon Sneva in the red uniform there.
There's the answer to the fuel question. He even has enough for the cool-off lap.
Yeah.
Ah, this is fabulous. A guy who's tried, so often and come up short, and now he's done it.
And there goes Sharon, his wife, headed for victory lane now.
He's such...
and stopped on the course is Al Unser Jr.
Well,
the very last lap.
Maybe he's the one that ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
Here comes Tom.
Ah, that's great. He's such a nice man, is Tom Sneva. That's great. I'm so delighted for him.
Everybody, I think, is. The applause growing. Car coming up on the little ramp there. Checker. Whoops! Watch it there, Tom.
Jeez.
Looks like he almost drove off the edge. That'd be a heck of a thing to do at this late stage. The wreath waiting for him there. Well, congratulations. First, he's got to get out of that harness, get the helmet off. Then we'll see the living man who lies inside all that equipment.
Right, I was right all the way, sure.
That was Sharon Sneva talking there on the PA system. Bill Fleming, however, is down there. I think he can get a word with... go ahead, Bill. Go.
Tom, one thing that has to occur to you as you took that white flag, can I make it those 2.5 miles?
Well, we had a pretty good idea we could. The light had started flashing on with about 5 laps to go. But
wait a minute, the light, the fuel light.
Exactly, the fuel light was on, but I thought we had enough to go the distance. The crew were trying to convince me that we had enough to go the distance, and I was just happy to see the white and then the checker.
Tom, at any time were you annoyed in trying to get around Al Unser Jr.?
Yeah, I was a little concerned about that act. Number one, he passed a couple cars before the light went green, and then he made it a little tough for us to get by. But you got to give the fans a show for their money, and I couldn't stand many more heartbeats, so I had to go to the front and stay there.
Well, George McNutt wasn't worried at all. He wasn't worried about fuel. He wasn't worried about the fact that Al Unser Jr. was blocking you. He said you had plenty to go, and he said this was your day. He was right.
Well, he should have been sitting in my seat, I'll tell you, because it was a little bit more serious where I was sitting than maybe in the grandstands. But we're happy for the Texaco people, and the Star ran super all day.
Now, when you get a fuel warning light, how much can you just generally bank on?
Well, you get a pretty good idea what it's going to do, and it comes on a little too early for this race, but you got to live with it. But it makes the heart go pretty hard because the light flashes on and off. Until it comes on solid, you're not in too serious a trouble.
Was it on solid?
It was the last lap, but...
but you never let up?
Well, you can't. You got to go for it.
Well, you caught the bouquet 3 times as a bridesmaid. You finally made it to the altar.
It feels a lot better, too, I'll tell you.
One more lap to go. And now comes what has been described as the longest lap in the race. Can the school teacher from Spokane, Washington, finally bring his car to winner's circle after repeated attempts since 1974? Down the straightaway, and there it is, the checkered flag. Tom Sneva is the man in charge. Tom's wife, Sharon, starts for winner's circle. She will run, and her husband will drive. The 67th running of the 500 is over. A lot of things have been written about the greatest moment in a race driver's career. That of winning the Indianapolis 500. People try to get him to explain what it's like to experience instant acclaim, to be faced with the problem of paying income taxes on the driver's share of the $385,000 first-place purse. He must realize that wherever he goes from here on out, he will be a celebrity. Fans want to get a simple handshake. I'll never wash that hand again. Give a few kind words. I saw you race 10 years ago at the Texas 200. Or bask in the aura of the man in charge. They think he's something very special, and he is. But deep down inside, he knows that he is a race driver who had a little luck, and at a crucial moment in the race, gritted his teeth and said to himself, "I'm going to win." And he did. And so Tom Sneva comes to his moment of glory. Whatever else happens to him in his lifetime, this moment will remain very special and indestructible.
And Tom Sneva accepts the salute from Sally French, our 500 festival queen. Tom, we've got a queen for you and a conversation.
And Tom Sneva, 300,000 fans greet him. The man in charge.
Is a certain kind of victory in itself. But to win it, to beat the finest open-wheel competition in the world is the ultimate panache. If you're truly hooked on winning, the Indy 500 may be your finest hour. But there are many who win here, like the man in victory lips, some of the bravest men in the world of sports. Truly an Indy special.
And now, the white flag is out for Spokane, Washington's Tom Sneva. Sneva, always a bridesmaid, but never a bride, has finished second at Indianapolis 3 times in his career. Through turn 2, with the crowd on their feet, cheering him on, Sneva flies by for the final time. Just half a lap to go for this 34-year-old former school principal as he heads for the biggest victory in his racing career. The checkered flag is out for Tom Sneva, winner of the 67th Indianapolis 500. And there is no holding down Tom's wife, Sharon, who is absolutely ecstatic on pit road. Sneva pulls into victory lane $385,000 richer, as the crew also receives their congratulations. After a month filled with trials and tribulations, heartaches and broken machines, 33 drivers took the green flag. 3 hours and 5 minutes later, one man emerged victorious, a jubilant Tom Sneva. As the celebration and joy of victory continues, Italy's Tale Fabi was voted Rookie of the Year for his flawless performance during the month of May. But for Tom Sneva, victory belongs to him. Truly a treasured moment of glory, a $1 million moment.